Hi everybody, Jared Evans here from everythingbutthegym.com with my first video review of a product. Today I'm going to be talking about tacfit Commando. tacfit Commando is a bodyweight only program that is sold by a guy named Scott Sonnen. If you've never heard of him or his products, he is someone who's done a lot of different things. I don't know the guy personally. Honestly, I'm not going to tell you his background because there's a lot of controversy on it. Some people really love the guy, and some people think he's full of it and question his credentials and things. But the guy definitely has a background in martial arts, Russian martial arts, sambo. He's done a lot with mobility training and yoga-based training, conditioning for different facets of martial arts. His programs are pretty diversified. He's got a lot going on. His website is RMAX International, I think, and there's a lot of different stuff on there, and it's pretty confusing. There's circular strength training, and then there's Prasara Yoga, and Into Flow, and Flow Fit, and all the tacfit programs, which there's a ton of. So it's kind of confusing, but I'm just going to focus on tacfit Commando. Now, the reason I'm doing this review, first of all, is because I've done the program. Second of all, I could not find hardly any real reviews of this program on the internet. You can go Google search tacfit Commando, and you're going to find a million different repostings of the ad copy in various formats, fake reviews basically. I found two or three out there, real reviews, but they weren't that great, honestly. They weren't that in depth, and they weren't from people who had really tried the program for very long. One of them was from a guy, I forget his name. Maybe I shouldn't say it anyway, but he had actually used the program for several months before he wrote the review. But a lot of other people just would write reviews about what people are saying without even actually using the program. I've used it for a couple months, and I feel like I've got a good understanding of the basics of the program. So I just want to have a real review out there to let people know what this program is. The program itself, honestly, is pretty good. If you go search tacfit Commando and you go to the ad copy where they actually sell the program, you're probably going to be turned off if you go by the ad copy. It's really overdone, in my opinion. There's a lot of stuff in there about learning previously undisclosed secrets of Marines and Special Forces and secret agents and stuff like that, and it's overblown. But I mean, it's a shame because the program itself is actually pretty solid, but you've got to know what you're getting into and who it was designed for and what it's capable of. Like I've written about before, there is no silver bullet in training. There's good programs and bad programs, but it depends on your goals and what you want to get out of it, and your available time, and what equipment you have, and what you enjoy, what you're gonna be able to stick with, and a million other things. So tacfit Commando is a bodyweight program. We'll start there. It is based on the Scott Sonnen's 4x7 wave. So that's kind of unique about it, and something that you should understand up front. If you follow it as prescribed, you can do it 3 days a week if you want. But if you follow as prescribed, the program goes like this in intensity throughout the week. It doesn't follow a weekly schedule. It follows a 4-day cycle. The first day is no intensity, and that no and low days, the first 2 days, are basically prehab and to compensate for the other stuff, which is actually a really nice part of the program. No intensity day, you're just doing joint mobility. And joint mobility is stuff where, I think I can show you one of them. There's an exercise like this, where what I'm doing right now is just taking my elbows through a full range of motion, flexion, extension, internal and external rotation. And this is to warm up the elbows, loosen them up. And you basically do moves like that as your way to prepare for the work. You take the joints in the body that you're going to work, and you take them through full range of motion and get you a little bit warm, loosens everything up, helps you not get injured from the training. So on day one, you're just practicing the joint mobility. Day two, you are doing stretching, a Prasara yoga based compensation program. Day three, moderate intensity, you are doing the actual workout, what you would consider the workout. And on that day, you do the full workout, but you're only supposed to work at a perceived exertion of 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. So if 1 is I'm barely doing anything, and 10 is this is the hardest I've ever worked in my life, you only want to work between a 6 and an 8 on the moderate intensity day, and that's to limit you in a way, or hold you back, keep you from burning yourself out. The moderate intensity day is to prime you for the high intensity day. It's a way for you to practice those movements. You're not worried about getting as many reps as you can, doing it as fast as you can. You're trying to get your form perfect, following the cues that he gives you in the instructions and everything. Make your form as efficient and perfect as possible, so that on the fourth day you can really give it your all and still maintain that good form, so you can get the most out of the exercise, get the most benefit without getting injured. And then day 4, high intensity day, you will work as hard as you can while maintaining good form, and get as many reps as you can and push yourself as much as you can without breaking down form. And then you go back to the no intensity day, joint mobility, and then it just repeats every 4 days. So you go from preparing and compensating for what you did the last 4-day cycle to practicing for the high intensity day to high intensity and start over. So that's nice. It doesn't really work for a lot of people, I don't think, because our weeks aren't like that. Most people want to do the same thing every week. They've got their work week, and then they've got the weekend. Maybe they want to work in the morning Monday through Friday and have the weekends off. And if you're doing the 4-day wave, every single week is going to be different. On one week you might hit high intensity on a Friday, and a couple weeks down the road you're going to hit high intensity on Monday. So if you can't adapt to that, that doesn't sound good to you, then there is an option in the programming manual. It tells you how to schedule it for a week, the 7x4 cycle instead of the 4x7. So you can change it, but the 4-day wave is part of the program, so you should know about that. Everything is body weight oriented in tacfit commando. There's absolutely no equipment, not even a pull-up bar, which is kind of unique. Most bodyweight programs will include some type of exercises on a pull-up bar, pull-ups or chin-ups, things like that. But there are exercises for your back. The exercises in tacfit commando are pretty unique, and there are some pretty effective movements that to train the back side of your body. It's not just push-ups. One of the exercises has you doing something similar to a dive bomber push-up. You stay very close to the floor from the knees with the arms like this and pull down using the lats, and then as you go back, driving from the knees to engage the core. I probably can't really explain it well enough for you to understand it. Even when you're doing it, it takes a while to get used to it. But suffice it to say, there are exercises that will engage your back. That, and also there's exercises called tripods, where you're basically doing bridging. So there are exercises for your back. It hits every muscle group, but it is very much a conditioning protocol. The timing protocol that is used in it is the 20-10 work cycle. You work for 20 seconds, you rest for 10, you repeat that 8 times, you rest for a minute, and you go on to the next exercise. And then you will do that for all the exercises until you're done. And it takes, like I said, about 20 minutes to do the actual workout, not including warm-up and cool-down. So the workout is very quick. That makes it very time efficient. The warm-up, the days where you're only doing The joint mobility and the stretching, the no and low intensity days, those only take about 20 minutes total. So on those days where you're working out, you're only doing it for 20 minutes. And then on the moderate and then high intensity day, then you're doing a 40-minute workout. So it's still pretty short and efficient. You don't have to spend hours doing this, but if you follow the program as prescribed, you will be exercising every day, and not for 3 days or 5 days. It'll be every day of the week, but you'll always be doing something a little bit different. I would say that there's definitely a strong fat burning effect from this workout because it is so heavily focused on the conditioning. The downside to the program as far as the protocol is there is only one timing protocol. You only ever do the 20-10 work to rest ratio. And I think they did that because they said that goes along with the whole theme of who it's supposed to be for, the military, fire rescue, law enforcement, yada yada. They say it's in the ad copy. If you care to read it, they say that is the most used energy pathway. You need to be able to burst and then recover and burst again and do that repeatedly. So I guess that kind of makes sense. I think conditioning in general should be more well-rounded. You don't have to always train that one timing protocol, but anyway, it is a good protocol. I don't think you should limit yourself to that. But tacfit commando does. You are only ever working in the 20-10 timing. Work for 20 seconds, rest for 10, 8 times, rest for a minute, go to the next exercise. That's all it ever does. You are definitely going to be challenged by the workouts, conditioning wise. If you're a weightlifter, if you're into bodybuilding and you want to be a big guy or you want to build muscle, then this program is probably not for you. I'm going to be honest. I want to be honest with this whole review. I'm not trying to sell you this program if it's not for you. I'm not trying to sell it at all. I'm not getting any kickbacks from Scott or his company for doing this. I'm not even certified in TacFit or CST or anything like that. So I just want to put the information out there as honestly as I can. So the whole point of the workout is to build conditioning and not to build muscle. It's not physique oriented. I think you will burn fat if you do this workout and you eat right, but you're not going to get huge muscles. For one thing, it doesn't isolate. There's no muscle isolation at all in this. Not that you have to do that, but you've got to either have isolation or be under challenging loads. And everything in this, it's just your body, and you do get to tougher exercises. You do work towards more unilateral or leverage disadvantaged exercises that will be more challenging and will stimulate more muscle growth, but it's not going to be anything like doing weight training. It's just not. You're not going to build a whole lot of muscle, but you can definitely get leaner and cut up and have a good looking body doing this program. You're just not going to be mistaken for a bodybuilder, but it depends on what you want. Some of the cons for this program are the demands on the knees and hips. There's a lot of positions in these various exercises where you are in a fully flexed position at the hips and the knees, where you'll be squatting all the way down and maintaining that position as you either rotate or push forward or backward out of that. So and also the shoulders, there's a lot of work on the shoulders with the pressing and the rotation that you do in the different exercises. So if you have an existing shoulder problem, if you've had a rotator cuff tear or something like that, or if you've had torn meniscus or maybe a tendon injury in your knee, or if you've got really tight hips, you might have a problem with this program. I'm not saying you can't do it, but it's very demanding on those joints. and again, not that you can't do it, but just know there's a lot of deep squatting motions. Not that you're moving up and down out of a squat, but you're in a squatting type position and doing various rotation, extending, and rotating the legs and the trunk. So it can be bad if you've had an injury to those parts of your body. The terminology might turn you off. The if you go look at the ad copy, that's pretty much how the program is laid out. They talk about um, missions. A mission is a 28-day cycle of the program, and then the difficulties are called recruit, grunt, and commando. And just the tone of the PDF where they're telling you about what to do and how to do it, it has this paramilitary feel to it. So if you can look past that, you'll see that the program is pretty solid if it's right for you. If you want to, like I said, if you want to burn fat, if you want to move better, if you want to increase your cardiovascular conditioning and your muscular endurance, it's a good program. But if you want to get a lot bigger, if you want to add a lot of muscle bulk, this or do compete in powerlifting. If you want to get stronger at your bench, squat, deadlift, this is not really going to help you. Or if you want to go do strongman competitions, or if you want to run long distance or go compete in like a Spartan race or an obstacle race, something like that is probably not the best program, at least by itself. So keep that in mind. Also, another con I would say, it's not for people who are off the couch for the first time. They There is levels of sophistication, but even the easiest level, you could try to scale it by doing maybe half as many work sets and taking less time. Like I said, it's for time, not reps. So you can go at your own pace. Maybe you do 5 reps of whatever exercise in 20 seconds, whereas somebody that's super fit might do 30 reps in that 20 seconds. So you can scale it that way, but still, it might not be the best alternative option for you if you're just starting working out, because of there's huge ranges of motion required, and it's very vigorous. It's a lot of work. 20 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but believe me, it feels like a long time. And then 10 seconds of rest goes by like that. You are barely gonna notice it. So that's something else to think about. And last thing I want to talk about is the cost. This program is really expensive. I bought it when it was on sale, but right now I just looked right before I made this, started recording this. It's $197 right now, which is a huge turnoff to most people. I mean, especially if you're on a tight budget, that's a lot of money to spend on a program. But it is still a good program, but that cost for most people is not going to make it a good option. So if you want to look into it, I think that they still do a 30-day money back guarantee. And let me check. Actually, I'm on the ad copy right now, so just take a second. No, I think they got rid of it. I think they got rid of it and they're not doing that anymore. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It is still there. It says right there, money day, uh, money day, money back guarantee, 60 days. So you have 2 months basically to try the thing and get your money back if you don't like it after that. So that's something to consider also. I think overall it is a good program for what it's designed for. If you want to move better, prevent injuries, loose fat, improve your conditioning and your muscle endurance, it's great for those things. But definitely other options out there. I would also say if you want to go that route, if you want to learn about conditioning and bodyweight exercises, tons of other good options out there that are cheaper. Go check out Ross Enamite on rosstraining.com. He has a great website with a lot of really good products, and they're much cheaper, much cheaper. I should do a review of Infinite Intensity and Never Gymless. Those are both great books. I think $20-$30 for those books, and they will teach you a lot about body weight conditioning, weight training, nutrition, all different types of strength that you can build. So anyway, there are other options out there where you can learn just as much about body weight conditioning, but tacfit Commando puts it all together in one place. There's with follow along videos and PDFs and calendars that you can print out so you can track what you're doing. So it really is turnkey. If you like to be able to follow along with a video, like if you've done P90X or something like that, for example, or you're kind of interested in the idea of being able to do a follow along video, uh, tacfit Commando gives you that option. There's videos for instruction where you watch and they show you how to do the exercise and give you cues for, like, okay, when you do this, keep your feet this width, make sure your knee is tracking in line with your toes, hips back, tuck the pelvis, yada yada. They tell you that. And then there's ones where the timing is all there. You just hit start and then you just got to follow it, and he gives you the cues and the timer for when to work, when to stop, and so on. So that's kind of nice too. But $197, I don't know. You gotta think about, what do I want to spend my money on? But like I said, 60-day money back guarantee, so you can try it, and if you don't like it, you can contact them and try to get your money back. So I guess that's going to be it for today. I covered everything that I wanted to, and I hope this review helped you guys. And thanks a lot for checking it out.